I just coming in the room. Okay, we are live on YouTube, Mr. Sean.
YouTube, what is up?
Up YouTube,
Pre-game party.
waiting for our special guest to enter the room here.
I'm special. I'm already here. There he is.
Welcome to the pre-show.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Hey, how about that? How are we doing tonight?
Oh my God. What am I not doing tonight?
Well, we are currently live on YouTube, but we have not started recording the podcast yet. Um, so people that are watching us on YouTube will be able to ask questions and stuff throughout the night if they have any, and they can, of course, watch us in real time when we upload the episode of the podcast, so it won't have any of this part on it. So, and the guy in the hat there, who isn't saying much, the man, the myth, the legend,
Sorry.
as it's written on his shirt, is Nick Carboni. I don't think you guys know each other. We are not a friend in common there, Nick.
We are not. Do not know this gentleman, but I look forward to getting to know him.
Yeah. And is the correct pronunciation Wiczek? Wiczek?
Wiczek.
Wiczek. I was close. Are you Polish?
Absolutely.
Me too.
I am so Polish. I played in a polka band for 10 years.
Nice.
This show just went downhill with two Polish people.
Yep, you're in big trouble.
We played so long. We were playing for the same people's second weddings.
Wow, second weddings. That's great.
Repeat customers. I love it.
There you go.
Well, just so you know, Darren, we are not typical podcast. We don't follow a format. Basically, what we do is we start talking, let the conversation develop itself. Makes it easier, more natural. You don't have to worry about what you're saying. You can say anything you want, however you want. You can talk about whoever you want. Nothing's off the table. So pretend we all have a beer in front of us and we're sitting at a table having a conversation. Wait a minute, he's got a beer. Look,
I got 4 feet. 4 feet to the beer.
That's too far.
Yeah. You know, I think I'm gonna get it closer.
Oh, getting serious.
How long do we have yet?
5 minutes.
Oh, about 6 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna go grab a beer opener. I shall return.
If guys are on YouTube, sit down, relax. Hell, get a beer yourself. Join in on the conversation. This gentleman's done it all here. I'd like to officially announce that Sean Coletta has upgraded his life. He no longer wears Yo Bros. He is officially a member of the Hey Dudes Club.
For those of you that don't know, Nick officially named my knockoff Hey Dudes from Meyer Yo Bros.
Yo Bro.
And now I own a pair of the OGs.
See now, so I mean those are nice. You got the You got the white, or you got the gray on the white. You got the stretch, and see now you got to get a black pair, then multicolored pair.
That's probably what's going to happen. There's so many different kinds out there. They're
They
starting to
are.
make college team ones now.
Yeah. So you got to eat. Those are rookie numbers there. You got to bump those up. I'm at like 8 different colors now.
I caught the tail of that. Sounds like you guys were talking about spandex.
I only wear that on infrequent Saturdays. No, we were talking about Hey Dudes, the shoes.
Oh, okay.
Nick has an extensive collection. I think we're going to have the Nick Carboni collab line of Hey Dudes eventually.
Oh, there you
The
go.
OWPS Hey Dudes. How cool would that be?
I got brand new color. I'm going to be unveiling at the Gettysburg Bash. They're in the box. They're crisp. They're ready to go.
They're pink, aren't they? I did see a pair of pink
I
ones the
will
other
rock.
day. They're pretty dope.
I will rock a set of pink Hey Dudes. I don't care.
I saw a pair the other day. They were pretty cool, actually.
So if you missed the first part of it, why I brought it up, he bought a pair of Hey Dudes. Well, what he thought were Hey Dudes. They were knockoffs from Walmart or Meijer.
Yeah.
So I called them Yo Bros. He sends me a picture today and says he's finally a official member of the Hey Dudes. He's got a pair now. So.
Hey Dudes.
They are comfortable shoes, not going to lie.
Every time I hear Walmart, all I can think of Jeff Dunham's puppet Walter. Welcome to Walmart. Get your shit.
You know what? What's funny about that? I can't look at Joe Biden and not see Walter.
I know.
Because he does that bit where he dresses him up like Biden, and they're so identical. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I've got a little Jeep Wrangler, and I had just under half a tank. So I went to Madison, Wisconsin, doing some shopping after my dentist appointment, and I put $60 worth of gas in my little Jeep.
And that got you what? Quarter tank?
The next gas station.
Yeah.
Pretty much, right?
My shooting vehicle. We've got a 1-ton GMC 3500 contractor's truck with the box and the whole 9 yards, dually, and then we decided to put a camper in the back. So that's our shooting vehicle.
Nice. All right. Anything you don't want to talk about?
No, I'm game for anything.
Okay. Cool.
It could get weird, warning you.
Wait. No catheter stories.
No catheter stories?
Oh, now we got to talk about it.
Now we got to bring it up. I got to. All right. Well, gentlemen, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right, Sean. Episode 120. Hitting the record button.
Welcome back to the Old World Paranormal Podcast, episode 120. I say it every time, but man, we've come a long way. I think I'm going to have to look and see, but I think we might be getting close to moving into the next season of our podcast. If I'm not mistaken. I'm going to have to look that up. Right now, we're kind of in season 2, and we'll see what happens in season 3. Nick and I had kind of talked here recently about changing some things up with the podcast as far as guests go. Now, we have brought in, of course, the paranormal, and I use air quotes when I say celebrities because they're celebrities in their own right, but to us, they're just our friends. But we bring in, of course, paranormal celebrities, people from around the paranormal universe, and local teams from across the country, some people that have certain abilities. So we mix it up a lot, but we want to do something a little bit more. So we're going to expand into some new territory. We're not going to tell you exactly what that's going to be yet, but we're going to have some guests on that you probably wouldn't expect us to have because it doesn't go with our normal normal theme, but stay tuned because that's going to be pretty awesome. Last week we did not have an episode. Nick has frequent episodes, but it's because of his catheter. No, we won't talk about catheters.
No, I'll be completely honest. Took last week off mainly because I'm finishing up the book. And it will be out at the Gettysburg Bash. So,
which is just a few weeks away. I'm excited.
Crunch time.
Love the Gettysburg Bash.
Yep.
Always a good time out there. And yeah, I was off in Ohio celebrating my birthday, along with just getting away for a while and riding some roller coasters, drinking some beer, which our guest is doing right now. It was 4 feet away, but he brought it closer, so he's in good shape.
Smart man.
Tonight's guest, I mean, there you go, Sam Adams, too. We've had guests on the show that have quite the resume. This guy has an interesting resume for a couple different reasons, because he has a couple things that we've never really had any involvement in. He is an author, director, producer, paranormal investigator, podcaster, criminologist, and wait for it, a stuntman.
Stuntman. Not
just a stuntman, but he's been in a movie, at least one movie that I'm aware of here, with some pretty famous guys like Johnny Depp and Christian Bale. So that's pretty sweet. Never heard of him?
Never heard of him.
Batman and Edward Scissorhands. No. Nope. So we're definitely going to talk about that. So please welcome to the show, Mr. Darren Wiczek. Darren, thank you very much for taking the time out to join us on this crazy adventure tonight.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Crack a cold one. Let's go. Let's have some fun. And let's see if we can get booted off YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
That's always the goal. So I tell you, so I think we got to start off with the stuntman thing here, because looking at you, you look just like a normal guy. And I know, you think of stuntman, you think of these super buff guys who are lighting themselves on fire and jumping off buildings. You just don't look like that kind of guy.
There's hope for you, Sean.
What's that?
There's hope for you.
No, I'm too fat and ugly. So tell us, how do you even just wake up one day and say, I want to be a stuntman. I want to look like I'm hurting myself and get paid for it?
Well, you have various different kinds of stunt people. You've got the ones that do the fights, the punches, the falls, and throws, and all of that. Then you also have the drivers of the vehicles. So that's where I come in. So I do choreograph all my scenes in the movies that we produce and stuff. But as far as the black belt and karate and all of that, no. The vehicle stuff goes back to my first film, which was Addiction, which is about two old vacuum salesmen that decide that they want to build up this hot rod car and do some racing and stuff. So we got certified on a couple of the tracks, went to the Road America circuit, and then the one down in Joliet, Illinois, and then shot a lot of our stuff up in Shawnee, Wisconsin. But then the actual part of the stunt process came with the Johnny Depp movie. And it's just amazing how much waste they can have in these movies. And a lot of times, they'll bring all their crew in, the caterers, the food and all of that. And the vehicles, they just found some guy that had all these like 1932, 33, and 34 Fords. And the guy did his best just to keep these things running. So they asked if anybody could drive a 3 on the tree. I mean, I've done some of those. That's where you shift them on the column, that old stuff. Yep. And so that was one of the vehicles we drove in a few of the scenes. And the next one was the big Ford V8 with the first, second, third, and fourth, which is like you're throwing it back and forth, not like your 1, 2, 3, 4 short slower shifter. It's just incredible. And as soon as you tap the brakes on these things, they would like lurch like 6 feet to the right. So now you've got Michael Mann, and he's sitting watching these vehicles. Like first they're not starting and it looks like they're going to run into each other. And, you got to have the right shot. And the camera guy refused to do it. So Michael Mann fired the guy on the spot, grabs the camera, jumps on the fender of the Johnny Depp car. And I'm driving the big Ford V8 right behind him. And we go around once, we go around twice, we go around 3 times. And he takes a break, brings us all together, and he goes, what do you think? And I said, well, I think we're too far apart. And he goes, but aren't the brakes iffy? I'm like, well, yeah, but we still need to be closer together. How close can you get? I go, I can probably get to within 6 inches of the bumper in front of me. He goes, well, if he hit the car, he's going to be pissed. I'm like, oh, don't worry, we won't hit the car. So we drove around and then just kept going, got some great shots. And then he pulls us off again on their side. He had a problem with the driver of the Cadillac that Johnny Depp was in. So my buddy was driving that car. He pulled him off and stuck him on the sidewalk for the next 9 hours while we shot, and brought the owner of the car in. So they put the owner of the car in that guy's hat and jacket, and then he drove the car, so it actually worked. Then he goes, now one thing, he goes, we're running out of daylight, and this is a day shot, and we're going to switch locations in Chicago for the night shot. So whatever happens, don't stop. He goes, the crowd is supposed to come in for this next shot. Don't stop, just keep going. So we're cruising along, and this gal, each time we come around, she's getting closer. And so finally the guy's like, don't stop, just don't stop. So these got these big fenders. And the last scene that we shot, this girl got so close, my fender went up her dress and then just kind of gently launched her off on the side. All I could see was Michael Mann just laughing. He gave me a big thumbs up. Great shot. And that's actually in the film too. It's pretty good. So
that's pretty wild.
That's the stunt driver part of it.
And I did see too, when I was kind of looking at your Facebook profile for some information, stunt driver at Universal Studios Hollywood as well.
Yeah, a couple of same films. We're also in the Transformers 4 movie. We shot at the Chicago location at the library.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
That was the scene with Stanley Tucci and then some of the runway models. And it's kind of funny on that one because the two gals that got us the gig for that one was my buddy's wife. And I forget the casting director, was Joan something or other. She had an Academy Award. And she was friends with my buddy's wife. And she felt bad because the last movie that they shot, she got cut right before they shot. They scrapped her out. So she goes, don't worry, I got a great spot for you. So Stanley Tucci is going to come right into the main part of this building, which incredible, all glass, all tile, all marble. And they had an inside crane. This thing could go about 120 feet, pivot, do 360s, the whole 9 yards. Now, remind you, tile and glass, no sound. You couldn't hear this thing. I have no idea what this thing had for bearings or motors, but you couldn't even hear it. So anyhow, we're shooting the shot. And all of a sudden, the director, Michael Bay, I think was the guy in that one. And he comes in and first thing he does,
explosion.
Yep. Points to the first two people behind the desk. And he goes, you guys are gone. So once again, my buddy's wife got scrapped. And they brought in these two, I think there were two Ford models that came in to do the shot. You can only see them for a few seconds. So anyhow, we're just doing little stupid stuff back and forth, our scenes. And one of the other girls that got cut, they felt bad. So they gave her to me. And he goes, I just want you to walk back and forth, and almost right into Mark Wahlberg. I'm like, okay. So we're walking back and forth. So I lean over to her. I go, if you act too sleazy, which is why she got cut from the first scene, I go, I'm going to get pissed. I got punched.
Oh shit.
That was, they talk about Mark Wahlberg being Mr. Sociable and stuff like that. No.
Really?
Not at all. Talk about an arrogant little dick. I think the guy's like 4'6" in real life. And yeah, he's got one scene where he's supposed to come out of this semi, whatever, Optimus Prime or whatever. And here he is sitting off camera doing curls, just sitting there doing curls until about 10 seconds before the shot. So they get the shot going. First thing to do is get a close up of his arm while his veins are still pumped. Incredible. So then we get that shot done. He goes, sits off on the side, takes his little chair, turns his back to all the people watching and stares at the window till his next shot.
Really? Never would have thought. I would have thought the opposite of him.
Yeah.
You might not get another job working with him, honey.
I don't think I'll ever get a job with him working anyhow. So it really don't matter.
He said, just shut up before you don't get another job.
Hey, I'm looking for work right now anyhow.
Mark Wahlberg, if you would like to respond to this and you're watching or listening to this,
Mark's
reach out. Let's talk. Marky Mark. Let's
send me your profile. We'll play. We'll do lunch.
let's have a chat. You can rebuff this entire conversation. Yeah, I would have thought he would have been completely different. Obviously, there's a lot of actors and actresses that are not like the characters they portray, but he's one I never would have thought. He always seems like a nice guy. I guess you never know. But I heard Michael Bay is the same way too. He's that do it this way or you're not going to do it kind of guy.
Well,
So
in the scenes that we had in Chicago on Transformers, I only saw him for like 2 minutes.
Mm.
He has all the other people doing all the shots, the camera work, the assistant directors, director two, and all of that stuff. He just comes by. He's got his little lens. He takes a look at the shot and, checks off of it and leaves.
Did you get to drive any of the hero cars, like any of the Transformers cars?
God, no.
No.
The Bugatti Veyron they had, I think that thing had a $500,000 paint job on top of like the $1.2 million price tag the car has. And I didn't even know what the shoot was. They just told me to show up here, right? And they give you your clothing and stuff, your suits and stuff. We're standing on the side, and honest to God, I thought it was a car show or something. So I'm sitting there looking at the parking lot, and there's all these cool cars, and the guy's like, "Hey, dude, this is Transformers." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Wow.
Yeah, you have no idea what you're going to do. You just got a gig to go drive.
Yeah, well, I was the divisional director of training for MetLife. So we were doing a seminar down there, and we're in Chicago, doing our teaching for financial advisors and stuff. And and they said, "Hey, we got this shoot over here. You want to come over?" I'm like, okay. So that was like 2 days of shooting down there, and Stanley Tucci was cool. Yeah. So we were shooting down there. There wasn't supposed to be public knowledge that he was in town, and so I'm standing right behind him in the shots that we're doing with that, and I'm like, you heard some sirens and stuff, and he's like, "Well, I wonder if that's going on." He goes, "Well, you do know everybody knows you're in town, right?" He's like, "What?" "Oh, yeah." I'm like, "They posted you on Facebook and everything. Everybody knows you're in Chicago." He's like, "Oh my God, really?" I'm like, "No."
I mean,
Now,
how is it like? I mean, you got all these directors and assistant directors, and these creative minds coming up with these these movies. What is it like to have to? I mean, is it daunting where you do the drive and they're like, "Nope, do it again, do it again, do it again," or like the one where you said, you suggested, "Hey, I want to get a little closer. I can get closer." Talk about that a little bit. Is it?
well, you look at the resume of those guys, the films they've done, and the awards they've gotten, and they're very good at what they do. But Hollywood's a different animal. When I shoot my stuff, I think we shot my first film. Well, actually, my second film, I think we shot it in 6 days. And then we had one weekend with matching weather at the location. We did some pickup shots. So we're talking like 8 days. One of those movies, I think we shot the same thing for like 2 days, the same scene. Then after that, they broke and then they went into the courthouse scene. It's just incredible waste. I know they had the Seagram's 7, the guy's daughter, the owner of the company's daughter, gorgeous blonde. And he wanted to get her in because he's putting some money into the movie as a producer and stuff. And all they're doing is they're looking up in the sky where those little metal flying things are coming at people. So that's the whole thing. Looking up in the sky, going that's the whole thing. So he puts a camera on this little railroad thing. This camera has to go 10 inches. That's it. The entire camera has to go 10 inches. They set that thing up for 3.5 hours. I'm like, can't you just take the camera and go, oop, done?
Yeah.
Right.
Meanwhile, you got all those cars, all those people, all the extras, all the actors, and everybody just sitting there waiting for them to get that one shot. So normally you'd think you could break up into groups and multitask, but it's always like almost like a single core process. Like you do one thing at a time, you go to the next thing, you go to the next thing, and you're done. Kind of like that one guy from MASH when he first broke into. You can't do one thing well and perfect. You have to do the whole bunch of things decently at the same time to get things accomplished. But they're doing one thing at a time, trying to get it perfect, and then move on.
The guy that did the Houlihan.
Yeah, forget that. It was after Frank Burns left.
That's what.
Oh, Winchester. Yeah, Winchester. When he came in, he was a perfectionist, and then they tried to tell him that you can't be a perfectionist. It's like more like a volume. Get them all done, get them all fixed, and see what you can save.
Interesting.
Fun fact, you can still visit the old MASH set. There's actually still some old props and stuff out there, which I think is pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's something I love, like, to watch how movies are made. Like, I'm always watching, when I watch Blu-rays, I always watch not the director's cut, but like the behind the scenes footage and stuff like that. That kind of stuff has always fascinated me. That's why I think it's so cool that you had a part in some movies that with some big time actors that are really cool. Let's talk about your movies. You've mentioned it a couple times here, and I know you've got a couple out there. What can you tell us about those?
Well, other than like the action stuff, the car stuff, when COVID hit, you kind of had to switch gears because you couldn't get a whole bunch of people together. So you started to figure out, what could I do differently? And we were watching a lot of the paranormal things and those types of shows. So, we figured, well, we could do something like that. So the last one we had watched was The Beast of Bray Road with Josh Gates and those two people that run around. The one guys look like Indiana Jones, and the other one kind of looks like the girl from Charmed. And so we're watching that, and basically said that everybody in Wisconsin are like retards. You guys can't tell the difference between a dog and a werewolf. And honest to God, that's the end of the episode. I'm like, really? So we don't know the difference between like a bear, or a werewolf, something that's going to walk on its hind legs for 300 feet. I mean, you show me a bear that could do that. That's pretty cool. And so we got a hold of the gal that he interviewed toward the end. It was Sophia Bierman. She's a psychic medium out of Heartland. And so I told her, hey, we're looking at, shooting some stuff down in Elkhorn and just doing like, research on the Beast of Bray Road. So I go, what'd you think of that interview? Oh my God. 47 minutes later.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's the word that comes up all the time too.
Oh yeah. I have to edit all her stuff. She loves that word. I have to cut that nonstop. Like, Sophia, like, oh gosh, did it again. And so anyhow, she's a psychic medium, and she showed me spots where, this werewolf beast thing grabbed this tree in her backyard, and she showed me the footprint. I'm about 205. My camera guy is about 250, 260, and we can't put a dent in this dirt by her tree. And she showed us the footprint was about an inch and a half deep. So, I mean, you're talking, I don't know, I'm not a mathematician or anything like that, but I'm thinking like 600, 700, 800 pounds to that kind of impression. And then the weird thing, she said when she saw this, because she went off the deck to pick her dog up, see a little poodle kind of dog on the deck, and they were like stuck. This thing looked at them and they were like paralyzed, almost like frozen, so kind of like leans toward like that alien kind of concept. Right. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. And then she said that tree that this thing leaned on, it died within 3 months. So whatever was in its hand, like its oils or something, killed the tree. And, so we got some stuff. We did our own things, did a couple investigations up there. And then that kind of led into, well, she's the medium. So she talks to, spirits and things in her spirit box and all of that. And anytime you do that, you're supposed to shut it down. You will not, cannot, may not follow us, our Father and all that kind of stuff. And well, she didn't, brought it home with her. And so next thing you know, she's got all the stuff going on in her house. I'm like, hey, that'd be a good second episode. Wow, this thing can keep going here. So we shot some stuff there. We did the old saging. My wife's got asthma, so by the time we got there, we're all hacking. I'm not sure if there's like a limit to how much sage you're supposed to use, but we figured enough was good, and too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like marijuana. You just keep going.
Yeah. Well, that's our Tupelo episode where it's legal up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a haunted theater, so that's going to come out in season 2. So right now we have the second book should be out in about a week. So we've got 2 books out, and then we got 2 more coming. And then so far as the series, we have 4 episodes. The first part of Bray Road, and the second one half Bray Road, and then half of the Spirit at the House. And then we jump into a couple entities, kind of like the yin and yang over at a bar in Sheboygan Falls. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
And then I think the 4th episode, God, where the hell did we go after that?
Now, who is this that we're hearing off camera here?
That's my other half. That's my wife, Kim.
We can't see her. Where's she at?
Yeah.
Let me.
We just hear your voice. Oh, there's a microphone.
There we go.
Hello.
Hi there.
I figured if you're going to be talking, people would want to say hi and see you. So
Yeah, we're married, different last name, long story. We have 7 copies of the marriage certificate that came back with our same last name. So it's all good.
wow. Okay.
Wow, we'll just chalk that up to the Wisconsin court system.
There you go. Yeah. Well, apparently you're supposed to go get your new driver's license first. Now you have a picture ID, and then you can just give them a last name and they'll put it on there, I guess. Then you take that over to the Social Security office. You give your Social Security card. Then you take those 2 IDs over to the courthouse. Then they'll give you a marriage certificate with your new last name.
We have like 15 copies of our names. It was supposed to be Bartles Wiczek, and nope, I'm just Kim Bartles.
It's not even tax deductible.
Go figure that one.
Well, crap.
Uh,
Uh,
so that's just, some of the fun stuff. And then a lot of things about putting equipment together. We make our own stuff as far as our SLS cameras, the full spectrum. I take all the stuff apart, get down to the circuit boards and take the filters out and put it back together and refocus them. So, some fun stuff, build our own gear and just have fun doing it and always being safe. Try to educate also.
So, I mean, you mentioned 2020, obviously, the whole world damn near shut down. And so did you already have interest in the paranormal? Is that why it took you that route? Or are you just like, I could do that?
Well, a lot of it is, I can do that, but, the interest goes back, a long way, even for that, probably like the UFO types of things. And before that, of course, you've always got the, the Sasquatch and Bigfoot and all those types of stories. So it's just fun. Once again, you want to do things safe, so I get a kick out of it once again, the Josh Gates, here we are running around in the woods with no gun and hairspray. Like, really? Yeah, well, let's go chase this 10-foot creature with a camera.
I mean, he's got to look good for the camera.
Yeah.
But I'm sensitive, and I squeal.
okay.
Yeah, she squeals, and I'll scream. I'll scream if there's a bat in my hair. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Hey, I hate
Sean will
bats.
too.
I hate bats. Hate them. Only because we were on investigation one time, and see, Nick's gonna add a counterpoint to this. The room was dark. I was sitting at a table, and I got buzzed in the face twice by a bat flying around the room.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
of course, when I go to tell Nick this, he goes and looks in the room, and guess what? No bat.
Go
So he
figure.
thinks I'm.
There's more to this story here.
Is
You
there?
were Facebook Live
I
when
was.
this happened, and you
Yeah.
have no evidence on your Facebook Live of a bat.
It's out there somewhere. I don't know where.
Maybe
It
he's
was a long time ago.
What'd you say?
maybe he's the Batman.
I'm Batman.
He wishes.
There you go.
I'm
He
Batman.
wishes.
Here, wait. Do I look like Batman?
She just got little rubber ones
There
on a
you go.
string, just dangling across the camera.
Awesome.
I should do that. But yes, it was a terrifying experience. I thought for sure I'd contract rabies or vampirism.
Oh,
I'd have been cool with vampirism. That'd have been pretty.
No.
Anyway,
When we were at Escanaba, when we were
Escanaba into Moon Knight.
yep.
when we were in Escanaba, and the tunnels where Al Capone would go through,
Mhm.
there was a small area there, and I heard, and scared the bejesus out of me, I heard those men's shoes from like the 20s, or the really hard shoes,
Mhm.
Mm.
at me. And it was like, so I ran and got the hell out of the way, excuse my language. And it was incredible. I thought for sure this guy was going to attack me. It's just a little bitty hole, because they shrink down the hole.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes for a lot of fun. And that was one heck of a squeal too.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
I would have probably yelled.
We're gonna go back there. Let's see if I can get you. If you see the top of the cabinet there, I got a couple of robots,
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
and so I've got those modified the cameras where they're infrared
Mhm.
and also thermal, so they'll do heat and then dark. So we want to run those into the tunnel. You don't want to walk in the tunnel because it's all asbestos, so not good. So we want to wear a mask and then be safe, of course, and run those down there and see if we can find any interesting pictures and transmit them back to the the cell phone, the receiver stuff.
Nick, how come we don't have any cool toys like robots?
Because I'm just.
You don't have a robot?
We
I have
don't.
a robot.
Nick could probably trade in like half of his equipment and get a robot, though,
Oh,
like
my
from Tesla.
Darren has so many toys.
There, hold on.
We're going to compare equipment.
One can have.
There's my rack of guitars, our studio drum kit. I've got my 2 HP servers, 2 Mac Pros, 5.1 modified to Monterey. So we do all of our editing on DaVinci Resolve. Here's just some of the other fun toys. Here's our buddy, normally shows up in some of our shoots on our podcasts. And then
Cool.
all the audio gears on the other side.
And don't forget.
There we go. The CIA wants you.
Wow.
Yeah, one of my claims to fame, I was actually accepted by the FBI. I passed all the protocol, the tests, the profiles, and all of that. And so I get a call one day, and the guy's like, yeah, good news and bad news. First, good news, you passed all the stuff. Bad news, you're older than most of the people that retire.
Jeez.
Oops.
I'm like, hey, I'm looking for work. Nah.
It just seems like the FBI would be a place where age would really not matter. I mean, you're not a beat cop chasing young punks down the street. That's more it's more of a thinking, and yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, you would think.
So when you were watching these paranormal shows and this Josh Gates stuff, and obviously, you've got the back seat to some of the top directors and film stars, so you get to see the production. You got to see their mindset, what they're looking for. When you were watching these paranormal shows, be honest, you're like, man, this shit's garbage. I could do something better than this.
Blair Witch is nasty.
Yeah, that's what you think a lot of the times, but then on the flip side, you got to think about the production schedule. You're going out to a location, you're probably doing the 2, I remember this, interviews. You get your field shot, you're establishing shot and all of that. You get in, you get out, you get it back and get it edited and put together and get it back out in the air, in a couple of weeks. When you're a one-man show, that thing takes you months. We've been working on our first season. It's sitting at Film Hub right now, so hopefully it makes it through and gets onto Tubi and a couple other places. But we've been working on that for over 2 years.
Really?
So it's nice having 3 editors and 4 sound guys, 6 camera people, and script people and all of that. But when you try to do it with a skeleton crew like the rest of the stuff, it takes a while to put together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people that we've talked to that make documentary films and stuff like that, that editing is the biggest part of the work for them. They say you can go out there and you can film everything, you can do all that fairly easily, but the editing, can't remember who that was we just had on not too long ago.
Matt Benton.
Yeah, Matt Benton. He's a documentary filmmaker, and he showed us, God, he was 6 months into editing his current documentary, and he wasn't anywhere near done yet. So that's a daunting task to have 3 of them at your disposal. That's incredible. We know some people who could probably we could probably get them some work with all these people that need editing done.
If you think about skeleton crews, that river monster guy, Jeremy Wade, that English, I think he's Australian or English.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That guy's phenomenal. You got to think about his crew. It's probably 2 people in him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So to do that amount of shots and then everything else, getting the good audio, the shots, and then, then all the stuff that he does, kind of like Crocodile Dundee and all that's pretty cool material.
Yeah.
I will give Josh Gates, a good plug for the field stuff, and same thing, you got a couple camera guys, a sound person, you're taking those 2 people in, 3 vehicles, getting all the shots and getting out quickly. So it's, it's well orchestrated. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess it would depend on what you're actually trying to accomplish, documentaries versus, a film versus a short series or something. I don't know. I think that everything's a little different, I guess, in the aspect of how many people need to be involved.
True. Go back to Roger Corman movies. Pretty decent movies. The '60s, early '70s. I don't know if he had any '50s. But you look at the credits or like the Alfred Hitchcock stuff. You had one camera guy, one editor, one sound person, and five actors. That's a killer movie. Now you watch, like the Wahlberg stuff or whatever, or Transformers, and you watch the end. You have like 5,000 people at this location, 5,000 at set location number 2, and then you get to the end, and you got the 42 million people doing all the special effects and animations. So it's like incredible. I mean, there's your bloated budget.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, brass tacks, it comes down to whatever it is. It comes down to whoever's sitting there editing this and putting it together.
Bingo.
That's where the creative part comes into, because, we're human. We have the attention span of a gnat.
It's got to be interesting or they'll turn it off.
Especially nowadays, because there's 1,000 different options, of watching something versus even, 20 years ago or 40 years ago.
That's why TikTok and YouTube Shorts are so popular, because they're just little snippets,
right.
Keep your attention for 45 seconds.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, it's something that intrigues me, with like Matt Benton's case, we've seen some of his finished product. The only problem with Matt is he's a control freak because he's a super creative person. So he's doing it all as far as going through all the footage, doing the editing, putting it together, the whole 9 yards. So that I could see why it's time consuming. Major film production, I don't know. How long would it take him to edit, put the movie together?
2 years.
About 2 years?
Usually like at least 6 months.
Yeah.
You can put a trailer together to do a teaser to get the money, because you have to distribute it, and that's where you need the money. So you got to come up with a decent trailer, to hook them. Then you get the money, and then you start putting the rest of it together. Otherwise, they'll say this isn't marketable. So then you just slap it together and, get it out on Tubi or something, reasonable. But yeah, I mean, if you want to put your time into it, 6 months, and, a lot of times the marketing, you might see stuff starting to get marketed July, August, September for, Thanksgiving, and then about Thanksgiving, they start marketing the stuff for New Year's. That's just big time money as far as the campaigns. And as far as, like the stuff that we do, I mean, we script our stuff, the rest of it's all ad lib. And then, we do our own shots, like I said, all our own equipment and stuff we put together, bring it back. And then, we do all the editing ourselves. So, you can remember, but then after a while you did the next shoot, and next shoot. Then you go back and you look at those 800 clips in the 5,000 folders, like, oh my God, what camera did I shoot this on? What camera is that on? We're using 2 different GoPros. We got 2 different DJI Osmo Actions field cameras. We got Blackmagic. We got 4 different Panasonics, G85, GH4, GH5. And then we have all the old school stuff. We've got the old digital tape, great for low light, old Sony stuff. So then once again, you got all these different cameras. And you try to remember what you shot what on, where the best shot was, and which one had good audio too. It's like,
Nick, I'm thinking that my creative juices need to flow in the direction of putting together a movie idea.
Yeah.
Because it looks like we got some camera crew there and all that. I think maybe it's time we make a movie.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
No,
I've had ideas for many, many years, but I think that'd be pretty neat.
Got plenty of extra scripts that we've got here too. So
are they scripts that you've written or scripts that people have given you? Oh, really?
Certified screenwriter.
Oh, wow.
Is there anything you don't do?
I was just thinking that, like, what?
He even fixes my cars.
Yep, we got our own shop here with our own hoist and the whole 9 yards.
Can you change out a toilet?
Oh, yeah,
God.
several.
I don't know how many toilets I've changed.
So if I break anything, he fixes it. He's the man.
Toilets are easy, plumbing's easy. I actually had to wire our whole kitchen because our electrical contractor left, so had to wire 3 different 220 circuits for the indoor grill. Indoor grill and then 2 different ranges that we put in. So nothing's burnt down yet. So yay!
And the towel work.
You have an indoor grill?
Yeah, one of those Gen Airs.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So
Yummy.
and that had to be moved to an outside wall because it's got a vent.
Right.
So we had to vent that through the wall. So then that means the sink had to come into the center island. So we built our own island and then actually made our own countertop
With cement.
Yeah, the old cement.
Yes, I've seen those. Those are nice.
Yep, they started a lot of doing those down in Mexico and stuff. Where you tint the cement, pour your own forms, then make sure you can set your stuff back in there. So the sink, and then the 2, we had a flat top, and then butcher block on the end. So yeah, lots of molds on that to put it all together. So it turned out pretty good.
So to everybody listening out there, between Nick Carboni and Carboni Flooring and Tile, and Darren, any work that you need done to the interior of your house,
yeah,
looks like we got it covered. And they can film it and make a documentary out of how to change a toilet.
It'll be brilliant. The do's and don'ts of construction. Let's do it.
You'd make a great Tim Taylor, Nick.
Yeah, I probably would.
Well, my motto's always been, if it's broken, you can't break it. So you might as well try fixing it, right?
Good point.
What? Say that one more time.
If it's already broken, you can't break it. So you might as well try to fix it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Nick just had an aneurysm the first time he heard that. It's like, what?
Well, look at all the shops you can take your car to. Do they really fix stuff or they just replace all the parts?
Replace them.
Yeah.
Good point.
Charge you an outlandish amount of money now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a whole new this and a whole new that, and rather than trying to figure out what's wrong with the one you have and, replace a little $2 part or something.
That's why he has the engines and transmissions in the shop, so he can work on all of the bugs.
You seem like a classic car guy, Darren. Do you own a classic car or a muscle car?
Okay. We got
I knew it.
Sitting down.
We'll start off with a 1960 Baja Bug with a rag top.
Okay.
Then we to a 1974 Super Beetle.
Oh,
then
cool.
We have a Aztec 7 that looks like a DeLorean, so it's got the gull ring doors. We have 2 Bradley GT2s, kind of a Ferrari with gold wing doors. Dino Ferrari 246. Got an 88 Ram Air Trans Am, Mustang convertible. I told you already about the shooting truck, the 3/4 or the 3500 with the box, and then the camper. We got like a 1986 motorhome we picked up for shooting.
We have toys, lots of toys.
No, she's a male
Lots
character.
of toys.
We got 2 right-hand drive Jeeps.
Yeah, I'm a mailman.
And then my daily driver is Jeep Liberty with a light bar on top and all that fun stuff. Go through just about anything.
Nice. What year is the Mustang?
2001.
Okay. So fits in my category there. I got a 2007.
Darren, does your Mustang have a V8 in it?
No, V6.
Oh
there you
my
go,
God.
Nick. Suck it, Carboni. I've got a 4.0 V6, and he always gets on my case because it's not a V8. So you don't need a V8. It's what, 100 less horsepower?
Hey, my bugs are 55 horsepower.
Whoa,
It's like
moving.
glorified
They sound
Escort.
like it too. Pop, 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 pop.
That's cool, though. I like the old Volkswagen. Nick, do you know what the old Volkswagens were originally created to do?
They were German World War II something, right?
Yeah. Do you know what they were supposed to do, though?
I have no idea.
They're supposed to go in the water and float.
No.
Do they float?
No.
No, no. It was a failed thing. I think that actually had some kind of tie-in with Hitler. I think that was part of what he wanted them to do, was to actually be able to go in the water and float and move in the water. But yeah, epic failure.
The whole promotion behind the bug, and Hitler going back, is to promote the economy, and every family could have a car. So just a mass-produced vehicle. I mean, they made 1 million of those things.
Yeah,
probably more
but
than
there's
that.
only one Herbie.
One Herbie.
I love Herbie.
If I were to collect movie cars, that would be one that I would have, be Herbie the Love Bug. What do you know about Herbie, Nick? Anything?
How about all the cars that Herbie raced in those movies? Those Ferraris, the Cobras.
That's true.
Oh my God, those old Jags. Those things would be worth it. Oh, forgot about the Jag. We got an XK120 kit.
Nice.
So needless to say, you guys don't ever get bored.
No,
just trying to figure out enough
literally everything you need to make a film this guy has. He's got the cars, he's got the camera cars, he's got everything. That's amazing.
He's a tinkerer. This man can put stuff together that would blow your mind. How he comes up with the stuff, I have no idea.
So he's an alien.
I have creative ideas, but he's the can actually make it work.
Some people just throw a whole bunch of money at stuff, and it's easy. You see a guy that fixes a car, it's like, well, I gave this guy a check for the interior, this guy a check for the motor and the tranny, and this guy a check for the paint. It really didn't work on it. It's the guy that did it from, Walmart or Farm and Fleet, and, just time and put it together himself,
Right.
That's expression, buyers and doers. He's a doer.
You know what instantly comes to my mind? You remember the Johnny Cash song?
Yeah.
The 51
talks about taking all the parts from the factory, and he's like, I got a 58 headline, 59 headline, whatever it was.
That's a good one. One piece at a time.
One piece at a time, yeah.
Yep.
Such a good song. So, being that you have your own production, you have all your own equipment, if somebody wanted to reach out to you and be like, I have an idea, I have a project, I want to film it, like, could they contact you and you do all that back end stuff for them?
Absolutely. We're just getting going with some new stuff that we're working on. So other than our series, and if it gets picked up, shoot into season 2, and just work on other people's projects, and just play nice with everybody. Too many times, people in the industry is like, oh my God, I'm not going to work with him. I want to sell mine first. It's like, well, have you made $1 million? No. Well, neither have I. Let's work together, play nice, and, I'll promote you, you promote me, just do it all.
Well, obviously you haven't been in the paranormal community that long, because that is exactly how everybody fucking functions.
Me. Everybody wants to be rich and famous. One of the things we say here on the podcast all the time, everybody's looking for that fortune and glory. Trying to be the Indiana Jones fortune and glory. And unfortunately, like I said when we started, I talked about the paranormal air quote celebrities. You got some out there who embrace that title, and then you've got some who are like, hey, I'm just doing what I like, and I happen to be on TV. Talking about the show's Josh Gates. I have never met him, but I've heard amazing things about him. In fact, I just saw this video. He was at a convention. I don't remember where it was at, but he had a fan come up to him that had just gotten her degree in archaeology. And so she was getting ready to enter the job market. And she brought a letter of recommendation to Josh Gates and asked him if he would sign it for her. And he said 100% yes. And he signed this letter of recommendation for her on the spot. So, but aside from that show and maybe an appearance at a convention or something, you don't really hear much about Josh Gates, because he enjoys what he's doing. He's a genuine, bona fide archaeologist who loves doing what he does.
Oh, the guy is everywhere.
Yeah. Well, he's been on other shows too, guest appearances and whatnot.
You can't knock him. He's entertaining.
Oh, big, and the stuff that he does and the places he goes, that's not inexpensive. I mean, it takes just a monster budget to do those things, so a lot of people are just jealous. It goes back to what you said. It's like all me.
Mm-hmm.
End of the day, are you meeting cool people, having fun, and that's it. Meeting people and having fun. If you make a couple dollars, great. can you pay your bills? Good enough.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I mean, he's entertaining. I like watching the shows, back in the day. I don't particularly watch anything now, but, yeah, I mean, there's only a handful of people truly, or, you could walk down any street and somebody would recognize them in the paranormal,
Yeah.
So,
Well, I know we helped out at the conference that they had in Glen Beulah last year, and Dave Schrader showed up.
mhm.
That guy's cool. That guy's nice,
He's really cool.
and he plays Pokemon.
He's a Pokemon guy like
So we all
That doesn't surprise me.
swapped our Pokemon IDs and stuff. Jason Hawes was there with Sherry DiMedetti. They're pretty nice.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
Jason's a class act.
Shane
Pittman.
Pittman.
Yep.
Who's the guy we got all the books and he
Oh,
signed?
Chad Lewis.
Chad Lewis is fantastic.
Yeah, Chad's cool. He's out of La Crosse or Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and the guy puts out like 4 books a year. Just phenomenal author. See who else was there?
How about
Just a bunch of other guys.
who's the guy that was in the cave? And he's
The guy that does the asylum. Yeah, I can't remember his name. Yeah, there were a lot of people there, and then most of them are pretty nice. They show up, aid, but the rest of them, could you call somebody up and say, hey, I've got the shoot, you want to tag along? If their schedule worked out, maybe, good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a handful, and we don't personally know. Majority of them are really cool. It's not necessarily those people. It's the tier right below them.
Oh, the almosts.
Yeah, where they got their dicks out and they think they're there, but they're not.
yeah.
That's the issue. But
We've seen a lot of those.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you'll run into a lot of them.
But I
Yeah.
wish you all the best.
Yeah, just do your own thing, have fun.
Enjoy what
It's just there's such a big divide in the paranormal between entertainment and realism. And, I get that it's a niche crowd of people that want to see the realism, and more people want the entertainment, the Zach Bagans, oh my God, a demon bit me on the ass,
Yeah.
and that's his fact, because I think he's actually said that at some point in time. But
Through his laptop.
yeah, through his laptop. Yeah,
Through his laptop.
while he's sitting at home sending the crew out because he's afraid to fly. Oh, did I say that out loud? But yeah, there's a big divide, and there's a lot of people on YouTube that I watch quite often, and over time things have changed with them. It's become, I'm doing this for fun, and so that people can live this experience vicariously through me. And now you're seeing titles like, we encountered a demon slapped me, demon this, demon that. So even that has changed. So very few shows that I really watch anymore. Ghost Hunters is one that I will always watch. Paranormal State is my all-time favorite of any of the shows. And that goes back several years, of course, but you pick what interests you, I guess.
Yeah, it's all about the personality.
Yeah.
Is it interesting and entertaining? I don't remember the crew, but there was always that one guy they left in the basement, and the guy would.
Aaron.
Is that the one that? Did
Is he the
was he
squealer?
squealing all the time?
The bald one.
I don't remember.
No,
There was one of these groups where the guy would be left in the basement. You just starts squealing.
I think he was a thinner guy. With
It might have been
purple hair.
an older show or something, but oh my God, that guy was.
Good bit does stage fear. I don't.
That
So-
could be.
Darren, so you're in Wisconsin. Bode this question. A good buddy of mine, Bill Walter, owns an old school in Broadhead, Wisconsin. Have you ever heard of it?
I think the crew out of Appleton just did a tour through that, so I've heard of it. I'd like to do that one.
You absolutely have to go there. Obviously, meet Bill. He's just a character of himself. Love them to death. But this place is a true haunting. This school.
Broadhead Manor.
Broadhead.
Yep, Broadhead.
BRAD.
BRODHEAD. I can get you his contact information if you need it.
Oh yeah, just message it to me.
But this place, I'm telling you, I've spent a lot of time there. This place will affect you mentally, physically. You can get, the full body apparition shadow figures. You can get the touching, doors slamming, footsteps, things running up on you. It's literally the trifecta. So when we run across that, we always call that a true haunting because you can experience a plethora of things there. Our buddies Larry and Dale have done some episodes for Paraflix there. Some other people have. Dude, I'm telling you, you're already in Wisconsin. You got to check it out.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. I'll get a hold of him.
He's got a lot of people. They'll go down there doing music videos out of there. They do horror shoots. He runs a haunted house out of the first floor. So in October.
Year round?
No, just in October.
Oh, okay.
But some of it's still up, and they've got some high dollar stuff. I mean, it's an amazing place. So I'm just saying, you're already up there. Check it out. I mean, it'll be worth it. Just go there for a weekend.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like to get the full effect. Like literally, stay 2 or 3 days because you can sleep there. So,
oh wow,
I mean, that's what I like to do. I like to sleep at the locations, but get that whole effect of it. But no, it's interesting. The whole filming aspect. We've dabbled here and there. I've been on a lot of episodes of this or that, but never embarked on a project myself. We're getting ready to here, in the next couple weeks, and I'm like, my nerves are fucking shot. Because
now I've got a whole script for a mainline movie based on paranormal ghost hunters. So you could call me afterwards or later or something and could talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
where are you guys out of?
We're in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh, you're not that far.
No. So, I mean, like from Fort Wayne to get to Broadhead, it's about 5.5 hours.
I did that.
But the worst part's driving through Chicago, depending on what time you hit it. I mean, you're just going to be sitting there forever.
Isn't there a way to go around the Chicago area?
You add more time, so you're better off just coming through the weird hour through Chicago.
I know one thing: never ever drive through Chicago when you have a hangover. Oh, it's really bad.
Shit. Well, half the people on the highways in Chicago, they're high. So, because it's legal in Illinois now. So,
yep. Well, I was doing some training up in Detroit a couple of years back, and I took the wrong way. I ended up coming through like Gary, Indiana, then came through Chicago. Must have been about like 3:30 in the morning. There wasn't a single car in the highway.
Yep.
Just drove all the way through Chicago. Just two guys in a Ferrari and something else going like 120, but nobody. It was like,
oh, that's the perfect time. Perfect
bingo.
time. I think one of the last trips we made up to Broadhead because we went up for a convention and had to speak and stuff. And we ended up driving through Chicago. It was about 4 a.m. It was perfect. I'm like, oh my God. 20 minutes.
Yeah, gorgeous city though. The skylight stuff, the stadiums, just beautiful.
I'm a huge Cubs fan, so
yep.
So that Bo's Green Bay or the Bears?
The
Packers
Bears
or the Bears?
Suck.
The what?
The
Bears still suck.
The Bears. Oh, so you're
the Bears still suck.
So you're Packers fans?
Yes.
Oh, have to be, yes. Well, Packers minus Aaron Rodgers. Packers minus Aaron Rodgers. You can cheer for the Packers, but not Aaron Rodgers.
He's not for us anyways.
He's gone anyhow now.
Yeah. My Jeep is a Green Bay Packer Jeep.
I'm sorry.
You tell him who your team is already, Nick?
I was getting to it.
Oh,
So
okay.
I asked them, because we were just talking about a lot about Chicago. I said Packers or the Bears, and they said the Bears suck. I'm a Detroit Lions fan.
Oh,
And he's not afraid to say it.
I like Stafford. I'm glad he got lucky over in Los Angeles. Now we'll see what the teams do the next year. It's always what are you going to do this year,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, who played in the Super Bowl last year? Anyone remember?
The Chiefs and the Niners.
Chiefs and somebody.
Okay. Yeah, and who's going to play this year? The Chiefs, somebody else.
Probably.
Yeah.
We blew our opportunity. We should have been there, but oh well, shit happens.
Well, we got close this year with Love, so 1 year that's pretty good. So we'll see what they put behind him this year, and we'll see if Aaron Rodgers can make it 6 plays this year.
I hope not. I can't stand that dude.
He's a pussy.
Well, any guy with a brand new team.
And if I saw him face to face, I'd still call him a pussy.
So, would you your favorite Packers quarterback of all time?
Oh, Favre.
Favre, yeah.
Yep.
Well, or Bart Starr.
Bart Starr was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
A little before my time, but
I don't think Bart Starr ever lost a playoff game, which is incredible.
I hated the Packers. I still hate the Packers. I will always hate the Packers, but I loved watching Brett Favre.
Oh,
that dude was just a gamer.
Just
the robot.
crap. He could win it with the last throw, or he could throw the stupidest interception, but it was entertaining.
Oh,
And his expressions were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Or the highlight of Brett Favre was getting carried off on a stretcher before halftime, and then coming back in the third quarter to win the game.
Didn't Aaron do the same thing?
No. Aaron had a toe issue.
Toe
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, he took a week off. Yeah, he broke his vagina. He fixed it though a couple weeks later.
Nick's done that a couple times.
That a boy.
Put him on the shelf for a while.
Say I broke some vaginas, or
Your own. This is not that kind of show. We can't talk about the others. No.
Oh, yeah, I'm not certified in that.
all right. I got a very serious question.
Oh, Lord.
Before we get on to our famous 3 questions for our guests, did you guys watch that shit show of a presidential debate?
Oh
did.
my God. I wouldn't miss that for the world. That was hilarious.
They start arguing about their fucking handicap and who could drive the ball longer. And all I'm thinking, like, is this seriously happening? I mean, they're both whack jobs. But I'm like, really? It's a presidential debate. Like, you ain't buying a 6 handicap, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, this is really happening.
Hey, what do you think the viewership would be with a Trump and Biden golf match?
Can you imagine the price of the advertisements?
That would be
I'd
huge.
tune in for that.
Everybody would tune in.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Did you see on social media that the day after there was a bunch of videos of Trump driving the ball
and then
with the tracer and everything? Yeah.
Yeah, Biden falls on the stairs and the stage and all that. Yeah.
And take it to the next level. Biden versus Trump on 18 holes. Winner becomes president.
That would be good.
But how many times would the person have to change their diaper in between golfing?
There'd be a limit of 4.
A 4 diaper change handicap.
I don't know. I was the government affairs chair for Nathan, Wisconsin, doing the insurance and financial stuff for 10 years. And, you always work with the politicians. And, it was interesting. We talked to one guy, and all they wanted was a bell in the university tower in Florida. And apparently the company that was going to make this bell was boycotted. So basically means the owner of the company pissed off somebody where they said, we're not going to import your bell. So they wanted to put together a 1-line bill to have this one bell come in. By the time this bill was done, it was over 2,000 pages long. Because what ends up happening is to get the bell, they just add all these other things to it.
And sneak it in.
When we talked to like congressmen and stuff, they would say, well, by the time the bill is put together, there might be 20 articles or pieces on this thing. And you might like 6 of them, and you might not like 6 of the other ones. Now, the thing is, how much do you like your 6 and how much do you hate the other 6, which is going to be how you vote.
Mm-hmm.
they don't have time to vote on every individual thing, so they start stacking all these things in there. Unfortunately, it's when they hide all those things in there that come out to like a couple $1 trillion. It's like insane. End of the day, can you pay your bills, or are your groceries costing you $1,000 more a month? Or like I said, put $60 in my little gas, in my little Jeep today, gas. That's stupid. When gas was $1.87, now you had extra money to buy other things with, which promotes the economy.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you don't have any money, end of the day, you can't buy shit, so then the economy suffers.
100%.
Indeed.
Who's going to fix it? Or
God
who's
the builder.
going to promise they'll fix it first?
Yeah. I say we vote for 2 new candidates.
Yeah.
I would like a green party.
Or kind of like football. You got 32 football teams, and you watch them play. Like, that's the best they could find for a quarterback. You got how many thousands of colleges,
Mm-hmm.
and then how many quarterbacks in those schools every year. And really, there's only 32 quarterbacks actually playing. And that's the best they can find. Same thing for politicians, Trump, Biden. That's the best we got. Yeah.
Well, Sean, I think we
Nick
should run.
Carboni Coletta,
Let's go.
2024.
We'll flip a coin to see who's VP and who's president.
Yeah,
We'll be the first people ever to do a paranormal investigation of the White House.
Bro.
Oh my God! Imagine the skeletons in those closets.
That'd be
Like real ones. There's real ones in there.
that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
They're probably hanging in the closets too.
Then you could turn around to every paranormal person in the world and be like, you know what? Suck it. I got to investigate the White House.
That would be awesome.
Cool stuff.
All right. You guys ready for our infamous 3 questions?
Shoot, we're ready.
All right. Well, this one, I don't know where this is going to go because you pretty much do it all. I don't know. You got 800 ovens and grills and stoves and cars and change toilets and everything else. Okay, so tell us and all our listeners one weird or interesting fact that most people wouldn't know about you.
I'm the only person I know of that was bitten by an African porcupine in Wisconsin.
Was this in the wild?
No, I
Okay.
was in Toronto and they had a zoo, and I was talking with the gal and I was walking around and I wasn't paying attention. I walked into the area where she was feeding the porcupine, and it took a big chunk out of my leg, and it was on my birthday. Crazy shit happens all the time.
That's a first.
I'm gonna stay with that one.
You don't have one, Darren?
Oh no, that I can't beat that. So we're gonna stay with that.
I had a pop machine fall on me.
You had a what? A what fall on you?
A pop machine?
Like the ones you put quarters in and get bottles of pop out of?
No,
yes.
the sugar drink ones.
Soda pop.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I had a horse on my foot.
So basically you and animals are just not a good combination.
Yeah, we got chickens, but they're okay.
He was
So
a
far.
but I shot it.
All right.
All
Duly
else
noted.
fails,
We ain't going to
shoot
their
it.
house. She's going to shoot us.
Yep. Because you're a freaking porcupine.
All right.
The guns stay loaded.
Duly noted.
We're ready for the apocalypse here.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah.
All right. Next question. So us paranormal investigators, researchers, we're really quirky about, the dinners we have before our investigations, but are really strange about our snacks and what we drink while we're investigating. So what is your guys' go-to snack and drink while you are investigating?
Cheese.
No, I think their only drink is really water. I stopped drinking coffee about a year ago.
I drink bottled Sprite.
Bottled Sprite. Snacks? Probably anything you get at Dollar Tree, really.
No, I don't do generic.
She's got that name brand.
Yeah, I'll do the
I got a
Dollar
little
Tree
bit of this
stuff.
going on when it comes to the hoity-toity. I don't like that generic crap. I just don't.
Yeah, I never really drank pop or soda, so it's mostly water
I can't drink from
or
aluminum.
or
so
beer.
Beer.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm a bottle baby.
Okay. All right. We're going to move on. I don't know where to go with that one. All right. Last question. You got one night, one investigation. You can only bring 3 items to investigate with. What are you bringing?
Does
3
it
pieces of equipment.
3
Does it-
pieces of equipment.
does it depend on the location?
Whatever you desire.
Definitely my homemade SLS.
Okay.
1 EVP meter, and then our full spectrum 4K camcorder. So we've got thermal. I forgot about the FLIR. We're sponsored by FLIR.
FLIR is fantastic.
Okay, they'll fire me. Okay, we have to take the FLIR. There goes my funding. So we'll take the FLIR, the SLS camera. Got to get video, so I'm gonna go with the probably the thermal infrared 4K camcorder. So between that, we should have good audio, the SLS, and then the thermal with the FLIR. That should cover it.
Good answers.
Nothing as far as interacting with them.
I do.
I would have to give up one of the pieces of equipment. If I gave up the FLIR, I could get audio or a REM pod, but I can't come away with not getting video, so I have to have the camcorder.
Well, since there are 2 of you, I think we can go for 3 items
Yeah.
each.
Yes. So we'll do 6.
3
All
items.
right,
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, I can hold the SLS and an audio or a camcorder at the same time. So whatever I can't hold, she takes. So that'd be actually the audio, like a Tascam DR70.
And that talking thing I have.
Yeah, the Spirit Box, and probably just a B-roll camera, just for extra footage. That way we've got it covered if something goofed up. So we've got the normal camera, a full spectrum camera, the FLIR, the SLS, Ghost Box, and an EVP meter. We're covered.
How about you guys?
Oh, they've turned the tables on us, Nick.
Wow. That's not allowed. You can't.
It is.
Hey, this is in an old world paranormal podcast first. The tables have been turned. The lazy Susan has been moved to the other side. Nick's like, what's a lazy Susan? I don't know her.
Shut up. I would say my phone, because I could take video and audio, a REM pod, and my direct link.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm not a big equipment guy at all. My phone is pretty much my primary piece of equipment. So definitely the phone, because it has everything on it that I need. But if I had to take a couple more, I would probably take the Epic box, the newer version that says yes or no. And maybe a cat ball.
Oh, sure.
Aren't they fun?
Yeah, cat balls are I've seen some pretty amazing stuff with cat balls that it's like you would think that it's the dumbest thing ever, but when you turn this on and set it aside and nobody's around it, nothing's around it to make it go off, and things happen, I've seen some pretty wild things. So I think those would be the things that I would take.
Cat balls are great.
Yeah.
You ever tried changing the batteries?
Do what?
You ever tried changing the batteries?
Nah,
Darren.
I just throw them away.
Yeah.
Oh,
Darren can do it.
I've replaced the batteries in mine.
So you're saying I could send my balls to Darren and he'll fix them?
We'll play with your balls, make sure they're working
We'd be
properly.
happy to play with your balls, honey.
I
And
appreciate it.
sanitize them. Sanitize them, change the batteries, shine them up, send them back,
There you
put
go.
them right back in Bree's purse.
Shine them.
Bro. That's harsh.
I'm waiting for Bree to comment on that right now on YouTube as we speak.
So is there anything else you wanna plug away, talk about, or anything?
Yeah, talk about where people can see your films. Talk about where they can get your books.
They've got it all.
And how about the attack turkey?
Oh well, that was we're working on a feature before COVID hit. About a 12-foot mutated attack turkey. Got some great locations out at Devil's Lake, a couple of areas we're going to use, and then COVID hit, so we want to get back to that. We got a full script for that feature. Other
Do
than
you
that,
have a 12-foot turkey, or is it going to be CGI?
oh no, the real deal. I got the feet and everything that we made.
That's great.
We go back to Roger Corman old school. Make it look cool stuff with low budget.
I'm a researcher.
Nice.
Yep. So
Nice.
just continuing on with the episodes. Like I said, hopefully, it hits with Tubi. We get some, viewership and people like it. We can continue shooting. And, like I said, end of the day, you have fun, make some, nice people and just keep moving along. And you fill in with everything else. There's always stuff to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. I love your mindset. It's
Yeah.
refreshing. It's not a dog eat dog world, and you're spot on. Did you make $1 million? No. Let's just work together.
Yeah,
So-
I would be pretty happy to be working, on a film with people like you, because I think you really kind of set the bar as to what it should be like. It's, if you're in it to be a millionaire, you're probably in it for the wrong reasons, but doing what you love and enjoying it and putting out a great product, I mean, that's what it's all about to me. So.
Oh, bingo. I always, we've got people to come in, it's different if you have a gymnasium full of people auditioning for the part, but, honestly, you get 4 people to show up and it's like, hey, if I don't have room, I'll write another part, just let me talk to you for a little bit, see the kind of person you are. And, just don't, just be you and we'll use that. And then we just write it in and then have fun. You got to work around people's work schedules and everything else, and you shoot.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Bree responded to my balls in the purse comment, but I'm not going to repeat what she said on the podcast.
Darren, do you have any parts for like a Frankenstein? Sean would fit it perfect.
I already have the bolts pre-installed. No.
There you go.
We actually have those parts here for some of our props.
Hey, see, there we go.
Yeah, playing with some airbrushing stuff.
Darren makes a lot of stuff. He's amazing.
That's awesome.
He's an tinkerer.
Awesome.
We've got our own mannequin.
Saves you a lot of money that way.
I hope to tell
God,
you.
Yeah.
We also thrift shop. So when we're going there, I find things that could be made into other things. And I said, you could use this, right? Yeah, I could use that. So we have like a shopping cart of really odd things. You should see how the cashier looks at us when we put them up there. It's fun.
We were at St. Vincent 2 days ago, honest to God, in a bag, a brand new green screen backdrop for $2.
Nice.
Or,
Definitely score.
Can't beat that. Can't beat that.
You just never know.
Well, Sean, you got anything else for our lovely guests?
Man, I'm ready to make a movie, man.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
That'd be awesome. Well, we'll definitely have to stay in touch, and Nick can get you that information too about with Bill Walter, and you guys have a chance to go out to Broadhead. And yeah, man, I think there's some opportunities for us to collaborate at some point in time. Definitely. I'd love to work with you guys.
Far from us, we'll bring all the toys and play, or, find something in the middle or whatever,
If not, I like cheese. I like beer. I just don't like the Packers. So
our Valley cheese curds are the best curds in the whole wide world.
Oh, you got me on cheese curds. I'm already packed up, ready to go.
Good stuff. We took like 20 bags down to Florida on a shoot that we did.
Nice.
Jeez.
Yep.
We were welcomed with open arms.
And the airplane had no problem bringing in a cooler on the plane with ice and cheese curds. That was kind of cool.
Really?
That's interesting.
Yeah, you can't bring hairspray or cologne, but you can bring,
you can bring
40
all the
pounds
cheese
of
curds.
You can bring your cheese.
I will remember that for my next flight.
It was good.
Guys, it was such a pleasure getting to know you.
Definitely.
We appreciate you coming on the podcast, having some fun with us. And yeah, absolutely. Let's stay in touch. Who knows? Let's collab on something. I'm looking forward to it. Sean will do. I know he will.
100%. I'm a little bit of an actor. I worked in professional wrestling for the last 15 years, so follow a lot of scripts and stuff like that. So
No, he just likes guys in tight shorts.
that's beside the
Don't let
point.
him fool
We're
you.
not. What's that?
Guys in tight shorts. I like that too.
Yeah, see there. I am not that guy. Unfortunately, I'm not. I'm a little too old for that anymore. But you can catch me in Gettysburg. I'll be stepping inside a wrestling ring again with guys that are 3 times my size. But we'll see what happens. If I die, I die.
Darren, I'm gonna need the best camera to
He
film
wants to
this.
capture faces of death.
When his face hits the mat and it just morphs.
And we'll put it in slow motion.
Yes. Yes. This is like award-winning shit here.
Got
I don't know what kind of award, but
get a super slow mo on it.
Look, yeah, we appreciate you, brother.
Definitely.
Best of luck in all your endeavors, and I hope much success.
Yeah, you guys.
Absolutely.
Yep. Send me those links, and we'll stay in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. We will. We'll get that done right as soon as we get done off the podcast here, and we appreciate you guys all around the world tuning in as usual. Sean, you got anything else?
Oh, I don't think so. Bree is over here trying to get me to say what she said, but I'm not going to say it.
All right, Sean, take us out in an Indian voice.
Do you want me to say what Bree said in an Indian voice?
Sure. I don't care.
We might get canceled. All right. So Bree said, I cannot help it that I am like a chipmunk with his mouth. But Nick sure is winning. Said, I don't share my balls. They're normally in my mouth anyway. The end.
And on that note, we're out of here.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Doodles.
Dear Lord,
All
now
right,
I got to
YouTube.
put something about Nick's balls in the title to this podcast. Good Lord.
Everybody on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. These guys,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for coming on. You guys are awesome. Like I said, if I don't have you on Facebook, I'll get it from Sean. I'll send you a friend request, send you all that stuff, for Broadhead and everything else. So
I think they're frozen.
they are frozen.
They are frozen. Oh,
there they are. They're not frozen no more.
No more.
Just so you know, when you said you were going to speak Indian, I thought it was going to be, hi, how are you? Not, look at that.
But the choice is Indian, Russian. Sometimes it really doesn't matter,
Oh, shit.
Jawohl. No, that's
You
German.
can also do a bit of a Scottish one, too. Nick likes a Scottish one. Turns them on.
There you go, Darren. You need some voiceovers.
Let's
There you go.
do some rogue. So.
All right, I gotta go put the
guys.
Yeah, it's time to put the chickens to bed.
Uh-oh, don't shoot them.
Have a good evening. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
All right, YouTube. Thank you so much for putting up with our shit all the time,
Again.
as usual.
Sorry you had to hear about Nick's balls.
As Sean says, going forward, yes, we're still going to have a lot of paranormal people on here, but we want to broaden our horizons, get some more, just different people on here, and like
And
Darren tonight.
I was going to say what we had tonight was kind of a little bit of insight as to the direction that we kind of want to go to. So, we got a stuntman, somebody who's involved in film. Maybe we're going to kind of go that route just a little bit from time to time. So you'll have to stay tuned. We want to switch it up. So make it bigger and better.
Bigger and better. Just for you. We do this all just for you.
Just for you. That's right.
I'm going to leave and go eat me some cheese curds.
Oh, Lord.
All right, YouTube.